Why are drones designed the way they are today? Why are they so efficient at moving swiftly through the air? In this video, we are going to learn about the mechanical design aspects of drones, along with their electronic controllers, sensors, intelligent algorithms, and everything that works together to make stable flight possible. Welcome to Wired Wisdom Engineering 3D. Here, we design, animate, and simulate engineering tutorials that explain complex technologies in a simple and visual way. And we have some exciting news. Wired Wisdom Engineering 3D has created a collaboration platform where experts from different fields come together. Engineers, 3D designers, animators, 3D printing specialists, website designers, PCB designers, and IoT developers are all welcome. This platform gives opportunities to people from all over the world. Here, you can learn how to create technical animations, discover ways of monetizing your channel, build engineering projects, work on IoT systems, and even get a free platform to advertise your engineering skills globally. Starting this May, we will be hosting different engineering technologies and experts. Will you be one of them? For those who want to support this project, you can do so through Super Thanks. For more information and updates, kindly subscribe, like, and share. Flying a drone is a fascinating experience. You can perform a smooth takeoff, hover steadily in the air, and turn in any direction you want. But how does the flight mechanics actually work behind the scenes? Drones use BLDC motors, which can be either outrunner or inrunner types. As you can see, the propeller blades are attached directly to the rotating part of the motor. These propeller blades are among the most important components of a drone. Each cross-section of a propeller blade produces a lift force when air flows over it. This happens due to the airfoil principle. The blade is designed in such a way that the lift force produced along its length acts in the same upward direction on both sides of the blade. The controller modifies the motor speed. The greater the motor speed, the greater the lift force produced by the propellers. So how do we go from being on land to being high in the sky? The answer is simple. Increase the rotor speed. As the collective lift force produced by all the propellers overcomes the weight of the drone, it lifts off from the ground. This phase of flight is known as the climbing stage. Once the drone reaches the required height, the rotor speed is reduced. The speed is adjusted until the lift force exactly balances the weight of the drone. At this point, the drone stays suspended in the air. This is levitation, also known as hovering. During both takeoff and hovering, all the propellers rotate at the same speed. But if you look closely, you may notice something interesting. One diagonal pair of propellers rotates in one direction, while the other diagonal pair rotates in the opposite direction. This may seem strange at first, but it is essential for stability. If all the propellers rotated in the same direction, the drone body would rotate in the opposite direction. Let us see why this happens. The stator of each motor is fixed to the drone body. The rotor spins because it receives torque from the stator, according to Newton's third law of motion. If the rotor receives a torque, the stator experiences an equal and opposite torque. If all the rotors spin in the same direction, the reaction torque adds up. This would cause the entire drone body to rotate in the opposite direction of the propellers. By spinning diagonal pairs of propellers in opposite directions, the reaction torques cancel each other out. This results in a net reaction torque of 0. This clever design keeps the drone body stable. Interestingly, The same physics is used to achieve yaw motion. Under normal conditions, all propellers spin at the same speed. To yaw the drone, one diagonal pair spins faster while the other pair spins slower. This creates an imbalance in reaction torque, causing the drone body to rotate. When you move the yaw stick on the remote controller, this is exactly what happens. Now let us look at the other two angular motions of a drone, pitch and roll. Pitch and roll are controlled by the same stick and are based on the same physical principles. To pitch the drone forward, the front propellers rotate at a lower speed, while the rear propellers rotate at a higher speed. This difference in lift creates a net torque, causing the drone to tilt forward. To roll the drone sideways, the same idea is applied to the left and right propeller pairs. One side spins faster, while the other spins slower. The resulting torque causes the drone to roll. One interesting point to note is that during pitch and roll maneuvers, even though individual propeller speeds change, the total reaction torque remains zero. This is the beauty of quadcopter drone design. It allows stable and controlled flight. Now let us see how forward and sideways motion is achieved. Assume the drone is pitched forward. Once the desired pitch angle is achieved, the propeller speeds are balanced again. Can the drone remain stable at this tilted angle? The answer is no. To balance the drone, the vertical component of the propeller force must balance gravity. However, when the drone is tilted, the propeller force also has a horizontal component. This horizontal force is unbalanced and causes the drone to move forward. As the drone moves forward, air resistance creates a drag force. The drone accelerates until the drag force equals the horizontal component of the propeller force. At this point, the drone moves forward at a constant speed. In short, to fly forward, you simply pitch the drone forward and balance it vertically. The drone automatically moves forward. Sideways motion works the same way. Roll the drone to one side and balance it vertically. All these actions cannot be achieved by mechanical design alone. They require intelligent control. Now let us enter the brain of the drone. Imagine a sudden gust of wind hits the drone. The operator would need to adjust each propeller's speed in less than a second. Otherwise, the drone could crash. This is extremely difficult for a human to do manually. This is where the most important part of the drone comes into play, the flight controller. The flight controller is like a tiny intelligent pilot sitting inside the drone. It constantly monitors the drone's condition and makes rapid decisions. It allows the operator to use simple controls such as throttle, pitch, roll, and yaw. This makes flying a drone feel as easy as playing a video game. To do this, the flight controller needs input from several sensors. Welcome to the fascinating world of drone sensors. You may be surprised to learn that most modern drone sensors are extremely small, sometimes comparable to the size of an ant. To manufacture such tiny and accurate sensors, MEMS technology is used. These are micro-scale machines with real moving parts. The most important sensors are the accelerometer, gyroscopic sensor, and magnetometer. These three sensors are combined into a single unit called the IMU, or Inertial Measurement Unit. The IMU is the heart of drone sensing. It measures acceleration and rotation in all directions. In a MEMS accelerometer, when the drone experiences force, tiny internal structures move. This movement changes the distance between plates that form a capacitor. When the distance changes, the capacitance changes as well. This change is converted into an electrical signal and sent to the controller. To measure motion in all directions, a 3-axis accelerometer is used. When a gyroscope is added, the system can also measure rotational motion. A MEMS-based barometer sensor is used to determine the drone's altitude. Now the flight controller must process all these signals and make correct decisions. But sensor signals are not always perfect. Noise can affect accuracy. Noise can come from manufacturing defects, mechanical vibrations from propellers, or magnetic interference. To overcome this, modern drones use a technique called sensor fusion. For example, GPS and IMU data together can estimate altitude. When combined with radar or barometer data, the measurement becomes even more accurate. This combination of multiple sensors is known as sensor fusion. With accurate sensor data, the drone can make intelligent decisions. This is where control algorithms come into play. One commonly used algorithm is the Kalman filter. The Kalman filter analyzes past and present data to estimate the drone's current state. It is used for navigation, stabilization, and return to home functions. All these calculations are performed inside a processor made of logic gates and transistors. Based on these decisions, the processor controls the speed of the BLDC motors. By intelligently adjusting the speed of 4 motors, a quadcopter can handle challenging flight conditions. The power for motors, electronics, sensors, and communication systems comes from a lithium-ion battery. The drone receives control signals from the user through radio frequency communication. For consumer drones, this range is typically 1 to 2 kilometers. But what happens if the drone flies out of communication range? Modern drones solve this problem using GPS and network-based technologies. The home location is set at takeoff using GPS. If communication is lost, the drone automatically navigates back to this home location. This ensures safe recovery of the drone. I hope you enjoyed decoding the complete system behind how drones work. If you did, kindly subscribe, like, and share. See you in the next one.